Welcome to Things You Don't Know. Today, we are doing something that's very practical, but very critically important. We're talking about scams, how to spot them, how to respond in the moment, and what to do if you think you've been a victim. We're going to focus on three delivery systems primarily that people run into constantly. One is online ads and pop ups, another is text messages, and the other is phone calls.
And I want to frame this historically in a way that actually helps. Scams aren't new. What changes is the wrapper, the technology, the language, and the audience targeting. The core mechanics, the pressure, impersonation, secrecy, and payment are remarkably stable.
And I'll bring the young adult lens, the kinds of scams circulating on social platforms, in job searches, rental searches, shopping ads, and those two-click moments where you're multitasking in a message looks legit enough to tap it.
Indeed. Before we go into the categories, here's a non negotiable mindset. Scams are not intelligence tests, they're attention and emotion traps. They work by hacking normal human shortcuts, trusting a familiar logo, obeying authority, responding to urgency, wanting to be helpful, wanting to avoid trouble, and wanting a good deal.
And one reason we're doing the ads text calls structure is the contact method matters. The Federal Trade Commission's Consumer Sentinel reporting shows that in recent data, people report scams arriving through multiple channels: email, phone calls, texts, social media, websites and apps, even online ads and pop ups. And the likelihood of losing money differs by channel. In that same FTC snapshot, phone calls show a notably high median loss, and texts are also associated with substantial losses.
Absolutely, Dr. Taneen. And the age piece, it matters too. FTC data shows that young adults, like people in their 20s, like me, well, they report losing money at a higher rate than some older groups. But older adults who do lose money often report higher median losses. So the old stereotype that only seniors get scammed, well, that doesn't really match how it works nowadays.
That is absolutely correct. So, young adults, middle aged adults, perhaps get scammed a lot. Young adults probably get scammed more, but they lose less money. Older adults can lose everything very quickly. So, here's the rest of today's roadmap. First, we'll take a quick red flag framework. That's a tongue twister there.
It sure is.
You can apply this to any channel. Then we'll go deep on scam ads and pop-ups, scam texts, and scam calls. And after that, we'll talk about targeting, how scams are designed differently for different ages and interest groups, and why the center of gravity has shifted toward young adults without disappearing for seniors. Finally, what to do if you think you were scammed, actions that can actually limit some of the damages.
Now, Dr. Weaver, if you don't mind, I would like to talk about the dangers, the damages, and even fatalities of some scams.
Go for it, Chandler. Because I know you have some interesting things to say.
Yes. Well, I remember back in 2024, there was a scam in Ohio, actually, Dr. Weaver. An Ohio man was sent an email saying that his favorite nephew was in trouble because his nephew was in jail. And this was an email that he got. And this guy was supposedly friends with his nephew in jail and said that his nephew was in trouble and he needed to have $10,000 ready by the next day because there was going to be some people coming to collect that money at 12 noon. There was also an Uber driver who was sent an email by the same people saying that she needed to go take this man to a doctor's appointment at the same address at 12 noon. Well, this guy wasn't having it, and he was not going to let these people take advantage of him or his favorite nephew. And this woman, all she was trying to do was take this guy to a doctor's appointment. And when she pulled up to take him to the doctor's appointment, he came out. He saw her. He didn't ask any questions or anything, but he shot her and killed her. He shot her 3 times, actually. So someone actually lost their life because of this scam, because somebody wanted to scam someone.
I know people have lost their life savings, had their reputation severely damaged, but I didn't realize until you shared this story, Chandler, people have died.
Oh, yeah,
Well, absolutely. And I'm sure that that's not the only instance of that, unfortunately.
unfortunately. It seems to me that scams have increased recently because of the economic upheaval and the way the nation is having difficulties with a variety of things. And partially, this is because of the ability of AI to impersonate and also to present seemingly plausible scenarios. And it's also, like I say, the economic pressures that are going on now. And people think they can make a fast buck this way. I wish they would just get off their butts and actually do some real service or real work and make their money that way. But some people just like to scam, I guess. So let's look at some of the red flags. Let's start with the very simplest cross channel test. When a message tries to make you act fast, act alone, and pay kind of strangely, treat it as suspicious until is absolutely proven otherwise.
Act fast, act alone. Weird payment. That's a good summary of like half my feeds sometimes, man.
Regrettably, it's also timeless. Replace the text message with a mail circular or a telegram, and you still get the same structure. Urgency, isolation, and a hidden payment method that reduces reversibility.
Reduces reversibility. That is correct. Once you pay, it's gone. Here are the core cues you can listen for without turning this into paranoia. The first is impersonation. The scam pretends to be someone you already trust, like your bank, the postal service, a streaming company, campus IT, social security, your boss, a family member, a celebrity, customer support, or even law enforcement. Another is urgency, a countdown, a threat. This is a final notice, or your account will be locked, a warrant, like the police are going to come to arrest you. Right. Your package will be returned, or if you have a business, your payroll will fail. Third, secrecy or pressure not to verify. Don't tell anyone. Stay on the line. Don't hang up. Don't contact bank directly. Just use this link. Yeah, right. Don't fall for that stuff. Fourth, the payment method doesn't match. They want gift cards, crypto, wire transfers, payment apps to a new recipient, or refund schemes that involve you moving money around.
And the vibe is almost always, well, we're going to help you, but you have to do this exact weird thing right now.
Historically, that's where the psychology lives. A legitimate institution has procedures, documentation, and takes time. Scams compress time and inflate the stakes.
And here's the protective move: pause and change the channel. If it's a text, don't reply. Go to the official app or website you already use. If it's a call, hang up and call back using a number that you find independently. Like, for example, if they say they're from the bank or that you have a problem with your bank account, call the bank on the number that you usually use. If it's an ad, don't click it. Navigate on your own. You use your own stuff. You type it in yourself. That single move, switching to a verification channel you can control, breaks a lot of the scams.
Now let's talk about scam ads.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yes, I think so too, Dr. Weaver, because people usually don't experience ads as, oh, a stranger's messaging me. They experience them as part of the environment. Search results, social feeds, shopping pages, app installments, even. That familiarity, it lowers your guard.
And this modern ad ecosystem also enables micro-targeting. In older eras, scam targeting was very broad, phone lists and mailers. Now it could be interest-based, gaming gear, concert tickets, car parts, skincare, education, quote, on crypto, rental listings near the campuses, work from home roles.
The cognitive trap with ads is the quote low friction click. Your brain treats it like a normal action, which is why scam ads often aim for one of three outcomes. First, get you to enter your credentials. Second, get you to install something. Or get you to buy from a fake storefront.
Now, here are a few ad shaped patterns that I see. A too good to be true storefront. It looks like a clean shopping site, and the ad says 70 to 90% off.
Yeah, right on. And every business stays in business because they give 90% off, right, Chandler?
Oh, yeah. The product photos, they even look professional. The site has a countdown timer and says only 3 left.
Gotta hurry, gotta hurry. There's only three left.
Yeah, act now, act fast. And then you check out quickly because it feels just like regular e-commerce or a support pop-up. That's another one. Your browser suddenly claims that your computer is infected and you must call a number immediately.
Oh, that's happened to me.
Oh, it's happened to me too.
Yeah, it's happened to me too.
Hmm. Or there's a sponsored link that looks like the official page for something like banking, delivery, and believe it or not, even reporting a scam. But it's not.
Now, that last one matters, ladies and gentlemen. Impersonation isn't just phone calls, it's false visual branding, too.
So, how do you spot the ad based scam signals without becoming a full time investigator? Well, one, slow down at the identity layer. Who is really behind it? Ask yourself that. A logo is not an identity, not at all. Anyone can make a logo. Look for mismatches, weird domain names. Here's another one that I found, and it's amazing to me that this happens, and it happens all the time. Misspellings. Misspellings, like they can't spell regular words. And if it's a big company, you would think that they have more than one person checking it, right?
Absolutely.
So they would catch the misspellings, I guess. Or maybe if they're from a different country, English isn't their first language, so they're not going to spell it right. How about slightly off brand names or odd customer support policies? The second here, treat downloads as high risk when the prompt comes from an ad or pop up in particular, especially security tools, quote, account recovery, quote, driver updates, and video players, right? Yeah, watch out for those. The third one here, pressure tactics and inside a shopping flow, talking about countdowns, extreme discounts, urgency. They're not proof of legitimacy. That's sales psychology, and scammers borrow it.
Also, another important thing to watch out for are conversation hijacks. You click an ad and it takes you to some chat box that starts directing you to pay outside of the platform that you're using. Like, oh, we can't take cards, so instead use this payment app. Or here's the link to verify your identity. Don't click them. Do not click on them.
Let's connect this to real patterns in reporting. FTC's contact method breakdown shows people report losing money at very high rates when the initial contact is on social media or websites or apps. And online ads pop ups show a high percentage of reports involving loss as well.
And that arms race is real. Security researchers have described how malicious advertising campaigns can use what's called cloaking, showing benign content to reviewers while serving scam pages to targets. That's a big reason the user level habit, always verify independently, matters.
Now, here's a practical move and a good rule of thumb to remember. If you see an ad that looks scammy or suspicious, then report it inside the platform. Google, for example, has a platform to report ads or listings that violate policies like scams and phishing.
Yeah, phishing. Uh, let's talk about smishing. That's a new terminology for many of us. Did you know what smishing was, Dr. Deneen?
I must say I did not.
Well, let's check it out here a little bit. Text scams succeed because texting feels personal and immediate. People read texts in lines, waiting in line, walking between tasks. So you get the worst possible conditions, distraction plus urgency.
Absolutely. And the most common ones in my orbit are delivery texts, like package problems or bank alerts, suspicious charge, or your account has been locked. Sometimes it's fake job recruiting. Sometimes it's a wrong number text.
Yeah, and that can often turn into what they call the long con. In other words, something that has to play out over several different sessions.
Oh yes, but when I usually get those wrong number texts, for me it doesn't turn into a long con. I immediately delete it and block the number.
Good for you.
Smart thinking. That delivery problem theme is a modern version of old mail anxiety. Your important thing is at risk. The channel changed, but the emotion didn't.
Here's the core rule for texts. Do not use the link in the text to fix the problem. If it might be real, like a bank alert, open the bank app you already have or type the known website manually. If it's delivery, go to the carrier's official tracking site using your own navigation.
And do not test it by replying. Replying can confirm that your number is active. Even, and believe it or not, the stop message can sometimes be used as confirmation, depending on who sent it.
That is 100% correct. Another common text pattern is credential capture. The link takes you to a login page that looks perfect. If you enter your password, the scam isn't just one transaction, it can become an account takeover. So, red flags specific to texts are a link that shortens or masks the destination, a request for a code. Real companies do send codes, but scammers also ask you to read back the code so they can break into your account. So be careful. Requests for payment by gift card, crypto, or verification fees.
Another thing we need to look at, what about the interest group targeting here?
Oh, Dr. Deneen, that is huge. If you're a student or you're in an early career, then you get job offer texts, internship texts. HR needs you to update your direct deposit, student loan relief, campus account verification, even fake room for rent leads that push you to pay an application fee even before viewing it. If you're into sneakers, gaming, or concerts, then you get exclusive drop links and ticket problem texts. If you're a parent, it becomes a school emergency or your child's account panic.
Notice the psychological signature. It's always a fast path around your normal verification habits. And the response is always the same. Move the conversation to a channel you control. Again, move the conversation to a channel you control. Look up at the organization yourself. Use your saved contacts. Don't click. Navigate instead.
For texts and robocalls, the Federal Communications Commission emphasizes complaint and reporting options, as well as providing guidance on stopping unwanted robocalls and unwanted text, including filing complaints if you believe you've received illegal calls or spoof texts.
Yeah, let's look at scam phone calls. Phone calls are different because they're interactive. A skilled scammer can steer you in real time, answer your objections, increase pressure, and keep you from thinking clearly.
And historically, phone scams were one of the major pathways for targeting older adults. Telemarketing fraud, sweepstakes entries, you've won a prize, fake charities, and bogus investment pitches.
But now scam calls are also targeting young adults, especially with bank fraud department impersonation, account takeover prevention, and fake tech support. And the scammers will spoof numbers so that it looks like your bank or even a local number with your area code.
Oh, yeah. So let's name a few classic call scripts, just enough to recognize them. The authority threat, for example. You owe money, or there's a warrant out for your arrest, or your benefits will be cut. The panicked family script. Your loved one is in trouble. Send money now. The account protection script. We detected fraud. Move your money to protect it, which is rarely how legitimate fraud prevention works. The tech support script. Your device is compromised. Grant remote access so I can fix it for you.
That one has a very long lineage. Your system is infected, but the modern twist is that it can start with an ad pop up and become a call.
Absolutely. And Dr. Weaver, you were talking about warrants. There's a warrant out for your arrest. One of those calls that have that is usually from the IRS. And I want to stress to you that the IRS, if you get a call from the IRS, it is always, always, always going to be a scam because the IRS will not call you on the telephone. They will either write you a letter or visit you in person. That is not going to happen. Now, these scam calls also get layered. Like they'll also send a text while they're on the phone, or they'll direct you to a website while they talk so that you're getting the proof in multiple channels at once.
That's an important point. Multi channel reinforcement is persuasion. It's designed to feel like reality is closing in. So here's the simplest protection behavior for call: hang up. Don't argue. Don't prove you're right. Not stay polite. Hang up. Then verify by calling back using a number you find independently on the back of your card, in an official app, or on the organization's real website.
People worry, I know I've dealt with this. What if it's real and I'm being rude? Historically, legitimate institutions tolerate verification because of the basic security for them as well as you. Scammers treat verification as a betrayal.
And on the blocking front, people should use call blocking and call labeling tools. The FTC has consumer guidance specifically on blocking unwanted calls. Now, I wanted to take a minute to also talk about an app that you can get on your phone. It's called RoboKiller. And what this app does is it intercepts scam calls for you and it takes you to some AI generated phone call. Like there's a setting on there, you can fix it to where the scammers think they're calling Area 51. And it's very helpful. When I got it, I knew I was getting scam calls, but man, I didn't realize how many scam calls I was actually getting a day until I got this app.
Absolutely. And as you mentioned, Chandler, the FTC does have consumer guidance specifically on blocking unwanted calls, and you can check them out. Go to their official website. Also, on the infrastructure side, there are anti spoofing efforts like Stir Shaken, which is designed to authenticate caller ID information across phone networks. It's helpful, but it's not a perfect shield.
Now let's look at who gets targeted, age and interest groups in the big shift. Let's tackle the key question: how scams used to focus on seniors and how the targeting is shifted toward young adults. Historically, mass scams leaned heavily on channels where older adults were reachable: landline phones, direct mail, door-to-door sales pitches, daytime television advertising, and later telemarketing. The scam themes match the life context of older people: retirement savings, sweepstakes wins, access to medical equipment, charities, and government benefits.
Now, the scam center is wherever the attention lives. For young adults, that's social media, social media searches, apps, marketplaces, gig platforms, and even texts. And the themes match our life's context, like rent, jobs, side hustles, student loans, dating, shopping, crypto gaming, and verification culture.
The data backs up that this is not just a vibe. In the FTC's Consumer Sentinel data book, people aged 20 to 29 reported losing money in a higher percentage of fraud reports than people aged 70 to 79, while the median loss climbs sharply for the oldest group, meaning that older adults, when they lose more.
And that explains a common misunderstanding. The shift doesn't mean seniors are no longer targeted, they certainly are. What changes is that young adults are now heavily targeted and often exposed more frequently, while older adults can be targeted for higher dollar life-saving style losses.
For example, the scammer doesn't need you to have a big retirement account if they can hit you with 1,000 micro scams, fake shopping sites, fake support chats, fake job onboarding, fake rental applications. They scale all of that.
Oh, yeah. And games and some other things like that too. Meanwhile, some scams are explicitly designed for high dollar extraction, often through long phone interactions, repeated contact, or impersonation of trusted institutions. And the FTC has highlighted major growth in certain impersonation scams where older adults are more likely to report extraordinarily high losses.
Let's make the interest group targeting concrete. Scammers map their story to your identity. If you're a veteran, they'll talk about benefits updates. If you're a small business owner, there'll be invoice scams, domain renewal, ad account support. If you're job hunting, there's recruiter outreach, remote work, equipment purchase reimbursement. If you're dating, a possible relationship, then an emergency. If you're in crypto spaces, airdrops, wallet verification, and recovery service. If you're a caregiver, urgent medical billing. The same mechanics, the same illegality, just in a different costume.
And the algorithmic environment makes it easier. If you search for an apartment near campus, if you type in that search term, then you can end up served ads that mimic legitimate listings. If you search customer service number, you might see a sponsored result that looks official. That's why the habit of typing a known address or using the official app, it's critical. It matters so much.
And I want to add a psychological layer here. Young adults often get targeted with, quote, competence bait. The message implies that, hey, you're savvy, you're exclusive. We'll give you an exclusive deal. We'll give you an insider deal. Early access, you know, beta invitations. Seniors are often targeted with authority bait. The government, banks, security threats. Both are engineered to trigger fast compliance just via different emotional doors, if you will. So, what to do if you think you were scammed? Well, the actionable part, what you do next depends on what happened, but speed matters. If you paid or sent money, the first step is to contact the payment provider immediately. The FTC's guidance is explicit. The steps differ. If you used a gift card, wire transfer, bank transfer, or another method, and quick contact can sometimes limit those losses.
And see, I think that's a very big thing that you said, Dr. Weaver, can sometimes limit losses. It doesn't always. And I think that's a very important thing. It sometimes can, but it won't always.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you used a card, then you can contact the card issue and ask about disputing charges. If it were a payment app, contact app support and your bank. The point is here, don't wait until you feel sure. Act on suspicion because sometimes when you know that you're being taken 100%, it can already be too late.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
If you shared personal information like a social security number, a password, a login, or documents, shipped immediately into identity protection mode. The FTC's identitytheft.gov website provides step-by-step recovery actions, including creating an identity theft report and steps like credit freezes and fraud alerts.
Absolutely. I'm just going to repeat that again because what you said, Dr. Dean, is really important. Identity theft, that's all pushed together, .gov, right? Now, if you clicked a link or downloaded something, treat it like a security incident. Change passwords, starting with your email accounts, because email is often the key to resetting everything else. Turn on multi-factor authentication. I know, Dr. Deneen, you have griped to me about having to verify 3 different ways, right?
Well, I understand it's important, particularly for something like this. It's just difficult to remember sometimes, but I have to be more careful about that.
That's why you have to write it all down sometimes, which is what I do.
Hmm.
Yeah. Consider running a reputable security scan. And if it's a work device, hey, report it to IT.
Another thing that you should really do is protect your social circle. Protect your social circle. If your account got compromised, scammers may message your contacts posing as you. A quick post or message. If you got a weird link from me, don't click. That can stop the spread.
Reporting matters too, not because it always magically fixes everything, but because it builds patterns that law enforcement can act on. For most consumer fraud, the FTC's reporting site is reportfraudftc.gov. For many online scams and cyber-enabled fraud, the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center, IC3.gov, is the primary intake point. For illegal robocalls and texts and spoofing related complaints, the FCC provides guidance and complaint pathways.
I'm just going to repeat those addresses, Dr. Deneen. Uh, report fraud, that's all smushed together, one word, .ftc.gov. That's one. IC3, that's capital I, capital C, 3.gov is the intake point for the FBI. It's their job. Don't be scared to call them. And then FCC also has guidance and complaint pathways. So, another caution, scammers sometimes impersonate the helpers. Also, Recovery scams where someone claims they can get your money back for a fee. If anyone asks you to pay to recover losses, treat that as a major red flag flapping in your face.
Absolutely. And even reporting sites can be impersonated. Use official addresses that you type yourself.
You type yourself, Chandler. You said the word, magic words. You type it yourself.
Yes, you type them in yourself. You are in control here. Do not rely on ads and do not rely on random search results when you're stressed.
Yes, indeed. Here we go with a few short in the moment scripts you can use. If people ask, what do I say? Here are a few lines to protect you without debate. If it's a call, you can say, I'm going to hang up, call back using the number on my statement. Then do it. I have actually done that a couple of times. Somebody called and wanted to tell me that my bank account had been compromised and blah, blah, blah. Well, I called the bank and talked to my personal banker. And he said, hang on a second. And he did it, whatever. And he says, there's been nobody here that's called you. Your accounts are perfectly fine, just as they have always been. And I thought, damn, I wish I could get my hands on that scammer because I'd like to wring his neck.
I don't blame you.
Oh, I've thought that about many scammers.
Yeah. If it's a text, don't respond. Let me read that. If it's a text, don't respond. Not to say stop, not say quit. Don't respond. Don't click. Go to the official application. If it's an ad, close it and navigate independently. This was a very interesting thing that happened to me. I'll just say it real quick. I bought some things. It looked really interesting. It was at the store. They were orange sticks, and I don't know. I just thought, hey, I'm going to try this, and I tried it, and it was really good stuff. And next thing I knew, I was getting calls from people saying, well, we can sell that to you. You have to buy it in bulk. You have to buy 10 boxes of this. And I said, no, not cool. And so I looked up the company's name, called them, and it was a completely different story. And they said they would be happy to sell me, 2 or 3 boxes and be fine. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's also important if you're helping someone, a parent, a grandparent, a young adult friend, to have a supportive attitude. Don't talk down to them. Don't frame it as, how could you fall for something like that? Frame it as, this was designed to pressure you. It's not your fault. Let's slow down and verify this together.
That has happened to me a bunch of times. People have said, oh, I don't know how I could fall for that. My sister has said that. Chandler, I think you've said that to me before too.
I have actually said that to you, Dr. Weaver.
And it's not your fault. It's not you're stupid. That it's not an IQ test. We already said that.
I think the craziest example I ever got was a credit card offer in the name of my cat, Isis.
Yay, Rye ISIS.
Oh, yeah. Especially for young adults, there's shame. People think, I'm online all day. I should know, but scams are designed for people who are comfortable online because that's where the money moves very fast.
Yeah, scams are not going away, but your exposure doesn't have to become your loss. The core defense is simple: pause. Verify through a channel you control, and never let urgency decide your actions.
Historically, scams adapt, as I said before, to the dominant communication method of the era. That's why seniors were heavily targeted through the mail and the telephone, and why younger adults are more heavily targeted now through ads, apps, social media, and texting. The rapid change is the mechanism doesn't.
Absolutely. And if you think you might have been hit, move fast. Contact the payment provider, lock down your accounts, and report through official channels like reportfraud.ftc.gov or identitytheft.gov and ic3.gov, depending on what happened.
Okay, to summarize here, we're going to give you a list of things, so you might want to grab a piece of paper and jot these down. Okay, this is what I like to call our verification checklist. Okay, first, stop and reset. Pause for 30 seconds. Scams feed on urgency. Do not click links. Do not open attachments or scan QR codes from the message. Do not reply, like text to DMs, and do not stay on the line. Another, identify the hook. Is it trying to trigger fear, like your account's locked, there's a warrant out for you, or fraud? Another is greed or opportunity, like an exclusive deal, a job offer, grant, crypto drop, etc. Or sympathy. Well, your family member, your loved one is having an emergency. Or charity things. Shame. You did something wrong. You'll be arrested. This is your final notice. If yes, treat it as suspicious until proven otherwise.
It's important to check for the four classic red flags. Impersonation. They're trying to imitate the bank, a delivery company, your employer, a government agency, tech support, friend or family. I've had fake calls that had your number on them, Dr. Weaver,
Uh-huh.
even a celebrity. Urgency again. Today. It has to be now. Countdown, threats, final notice. Isolation. Stay on this call. Use only this link, payment method, or number. Don't tell anyone. Payment mismatch. They want to be paid in wire transfers, crypto money, gift cards, a payment app to someone you don't know. These things can all be the signs of a scam.
You're absolutely right, Dr. Deneen. And another thing that you should do is switch to a verification channel that you control. If it claims to be your bank or credit card, open the official app or call the number on the back of your card or call your bank. If it claims to be a delivery service, then type the carrier site yourself and then enter the tracking number. If it claims to be your employer, your HR, or the payroll, then contact HR using your company directory or known internal channel. If it claims to be government and law enforcement, then hang up straight away. Look up the agency's official number yourself and then call them. Real agencies do not demand gift cards or crypto. If it
That's
claims to
for
be,
sure.
yeah, yes, it is, Dr. Weaver. If it claims to be tech support, then use the official support page from a bookmarked or known site. Never a pop-up number.
Another thing, validate the identity. These are some fast checks. Caller ID can be spoofed. Dr. Deneen already mentioned that. Don't trust the displayed number. Inspect the sender address or handle, not just the display name. Check the URL carefully. Look for misspellings, extra words, hyphens, and odd endings. Search for the company's official contact via a trusted route, like the official app, printed statements, bookmarked site, etc. Never, ever share these kinds of things, even to verify. Passwords, full PINs, one-time codes, backup codes, remote access, screen sharing, or let me take control, full social security number, driver's license, photos, don't do that. Bank login, crypto seed phrases, or two-factor codes sent to your phone or email.
Here are some payment safety rules. Never pay a surprise bill with crypto, wire transfers, a new payment recipient, or gift cards. Never move money to a safe account. That's usually a scam. If you're pressured to pay to unlock something immediately, stop right away. If you're unsure, do the two-person rule. Tell yourself, I will confirm this with one other person before I pay or share any information. Call a friend, a family member, your organization's HR/IT department using known contact info, or your bank.
Now, here's another piece of advice that I would like to offer, and I think this is very important. If you already clicked or paid or shared information, then act immediately, even if you're not 100% sure. Contact your bank, your credit card, or your payment app. Change your password starting with your email password and enable MFA. Consider a credit freeze if sensitive identity information was shared. Report via official channels, FTC fraud reporting, identitytheft.gov, and or IC3.gov, depending on what happened. Well, we hope that you have enjoyed this episode of Things You Don't Know, and we hope that you have also learned about scams, the severity of them, and how to prevent them. And I just want to say, if you get scammed, don't feel stupid these days. It's happening to a lot of people, and they're getting pretty damn good with it, unfortunately.
That's very true. We're just trying to look out for you, ladies and gentlemen. Please come back soon. We have a lot of interesting things coming up.
Hey, thanks for joining us today. We'll be saying goodbye for now. Come on back and see us. We got some other good stuff coming your way. Bye for now.